back to the Port Macquarie Food Hub and the collaboration of chefs that we've got coming on to do demonstrations. We've got Drew from Drury Lane. Welcome, Drew.
Hello, hello.
Yep. So Drew's going to take over from where I left off with the chicken stock, and he's going to do a beautiful risotto for us today. Okay, so fantastic to have Drew in the kitchen. Absolutely stoked. One of the best in the area, one of the biggest supporters of local produce. So great to have you here.
Well, thank you very much. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a really simple risotto. It's one of the easiest dishes that you can actually make to actually make yourself look really, really good in front of a crowd. The best thing about it also is it's a one dish or a one frying pan dish, or you can do it in a pot, or you can just do it in whatever you have. And the other great thing is it's great as a side, it's great as a dish by itself. It keeps really well, so you can just put it in a container, nuke it in the morning, you've got a quick, easy lunch. Really simple, really simple. I'm going to use a good old-fashioned frying pan. An Italian man would actually shoot me if he saw me doing this, but this is the way we roll. I've got absolutely lovely lemon-infused olive oil. Now, the one thing that you got to understand about olive oil is that it has a really, really high flash point, which means that it doesn't like a lot of heat. So to combat that, I've got some beautiful Near River bacon. I'm going to put that in the frying pan first and render out some of the fat to try and protect all the beautiful olive oil that we have. It's all about timing. When I'm cutting this bacon, I'm not really too concerned about the sizes. I just want to make it roughly the same size as a grain of rice. And that is going to go right into a frying pan, just like that. Nice low heat. One very simple ingredient that happens to be incredibly in season right now. It's fennel. One of the great things about the Food Hub and my restaurant is because I've used primarily local ingredients, I've never had to worry about a supply chain. Basically, if the road's closed, that's when I have to worry about a supply chain. But because it's only coming from literally less than probably about 40 kilometers away at best, I got a good chance that I'm never going to run out. Core of the inside of the fennel, don't throw it out, it's fantastic. Now, the world's most underrated ingredient, the simple brown onion. The way I like to peel them is I like to go straight down the middle. I'll cut off that little bit of root. Don't throw it away, it goes great for stalks. I'll cut away at the top of the, I guess where the onion comes out, the leaves. And then it just makes it very easy for me to get between the layers. This is a really fresh onion. Get between the layers and peel one off. Once again, I'm not going to waste any of that, because that's all really, really great for stalks. Easiest way of dicing an onion, the way that the layers go, cut with the layers. Keep it all close together, and then the natural layers will give you a really nice dice when you cut across them. Once again, I'm trying to make it roughly the same size of a grain of rice, but I'm not too particular. Now that I'm getting a little bit, and you can see that there's a little bit of fat coming out of the bacon, that glossiness, I now know I have enough protection that I can incorporate the olive oil, and I'm not going to burn it and ruin its flavor. Once again, good liberal amount. So what I've done is I've let my onions and my bacon and my fennel all kind of cook down. Now this is all very much creating a base flavor. This is the point where I'm going to add some of this absolutely gorgeous arborio rice, and I'm just going to gently scatter it across the top. A very good concept, which I always go for, is basically if I can just cover the base of the frying pan so I can't really see too many of the ingredients that I've already fried, that's usually a good portion. For those of you who like a little bit more measurements, roughly 100 grams of rice per person. And then just stir it together. What I'm looking for now is I'm looking for the actual, if you can see that, that's the caramelization of the bacon, the sugars on the onions, and I'm all infusing it and toasting my rice. One of the luxuries that I have at the moment is that Eric in the last video made an absolutely gorgeous chicken stock. This is possibly one of the finest chicken stocks I've seen in a long, long, long time, and I feel actually quite guilty wasting it in a risotto, but if you're going to make a good food, you might as well have the best products. If you don't have the luxury of chicken stock, you can use wine, which I know all of us have, especially in these days, this day and age. If you don't have wine, you can use beer. And if you don't have beer, I pity you. You can always use water. Once I bring it to a nice boil, I'm going to turn my heat down. And a very good key with risotto is just let it cook. Just let it do its thing. There's no need to really mess with it. It doesn't really want to be touched. It doesn't really want to be messed around with. Just let it cook. This is raw coffee grounds. This is from my supplier, Dopey or Nothing, who is also, you can also get through the Food Hub as well. But it only needs literally about a teaspoon. If you don't want to buy a whole box of coffee just for a teaspoon of ground coffee, please come down to my cafe, and at any time I'll be more than happy to give you a tablespoon of coffee so you can go home and do this dish. It's quite strong, very, very aromatic, but I'm going to add it right now so while the stock and the rice are all cooking together, it will slowly infuse into the rice and into the flavor.
How's COVID affected your business in these crazy times?
Oh wow, oh god, where do I start with that one? In the beginning when it was just all crazy and we had no idea, like no one had any idea what was going on, the whole hospitality industry had to really basically rewrite its business plan almost daily. We all watched the news religiously to find out whether or not we were all just going to get shut down. But once again, I have to say that it just actually shows how versatile and how sort of like fluid chefs actually are, to basically try and change their business model around 5 times in a week and just to try and keep going. And I take my hat off to the whole hospitality industry, from the suppliers right down to, you know, the lowly kitchen hands, to just being flexible and always sort of like, well, just rolling with whatever was actually happening. During these uncertain times, we don't want to waste anything. So here I've got the fennel fronds from the fennel, and I've got the carrot tops from the leftover carrots that went into the chicken stock earlier. Both of them have a very beautiful aromatic flavor. So I'm just going to very roughly chop them up, and then use them to finish and garnish the risotto. So this has been simmering for about 10 minutes now, and what I can start seeing is that the rice is starting to thicken the sauce. You can start seeing by the bubbles and how they're just staying up a little bit longer than a regular sort of pot of boiling water, which is showing me that the starch in the rice is actually thickening it up. So this is the perfect time to start incorporating a little bit of the torn chicken thighs, left over from Eric's beautiful chicken. I'm going to throw in my herb garnish. And then to take this to the absolute next level is some of this amazing dehydrated garlic. This will turn this dish from just a simple everyday weekday dish into 5-star food. Don't need a lot of it. Just once again, chop it very thinly, as thin as you can. A chef of mine once said you cannot slice it too thin. In it goes, and stir it all in. One big misconception of risotto is you should not be able to form risotto. It needs to be almost like a porridge consistency, not something that you can form into some sort of like Art Deco sculpture. That is what I'm looking for. A little bit saucy, the rice is absorbing it, and I'm just going to let that sit for about 2 more minutes. And I'll have dinner. Now, this is coming along absolutely perfect. I'm going to turn the heat off now and let the residual cooking as the temperature lowers to finish off the rice. I'm going to add that much butter. Now that's a suitable amount of butter. Don't give me any crap. I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of the black garlic balsamic. And this absolutely gorgeous product that the other chef makes, which is a preserved lemon salt, which is just going to really bring out the aromatics. You can just smell everything right through this. It's quite strong once again, and because I have the bacon, which is a salty product, I don't want to add too much. And once again, your guests can always add more salt. Gently stirring that through, letting the butter melt, coating the rice, and plate. And to finish it off, a little bit of Utopian Farm crumbled feta. Dinner. Thank you very much.